Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy. With me is Joe and Nikki.
Hey guys.
Yeah, yes. Others should be joining us soon. Nick is taking a hiatus from doing live shows. It's not just this one. It's all sorts of shows that he's associated with on the network. He's got his own independent project he's working on. So, he just needed a break to focus on that. Let's see the comments. Hey, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Right, mighty captain like me would come. Yes, Mr. Krabs, we are surprised. Yeah, we have a. Hey, this is the first for us. We have a cartoon character here in the audience. Nice. So tonight we are jumping back into the Scream franchise with Scream 4, and this is 11 years after Scream 3. You know, and on the movie's timeline, it takes place 10 years after the events from that movie. And it's also worth noting that this is the last film that Wes Craven had directed before his death in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. So this...
I didn't even know he was dead.
Yeah. So this edition of the FearFans podcast is dedicated to him. Yeah. God rest his soul. Wes Craven, a true master of horror.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
Oh, it's Santi here. Yeah, I figured one of you guys were playing a little joke like that. Yeah. But Wes Craven, he was one of the biggest names in horror, like Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, the list goes on. Yes. But so I remember first seeing this in 2011 when it first came out. I was a freshman at Western Kentucky University, and this was one of the movies that I was really hyped for. It's like a whole new part of the Scream franchise. Like when I first heard about this, I thought there was going to be 3 movies. Like that's what I was told. There are 3 new movies, but today we have that now. The new ones 5 and 6. But
Looking forward to watching.
Oh yeah, and rewatching Scream 4 recently, it was just like wow, a nice little trip down memory lane. Seeing it with with friends at the university. Oh yeah, I needed to get into Halloween spirit. October after all. Yep, I hear you. Yep. Hey, I had to get into Halloween spirit. That's why I opened with the my ghost face mask. Yeah. So yeah, when did you guys first see this movie?
2 days ago.
3 days. Jinx.
So I'm the first one in this whole group that saw it. Okay. Man.
I didn't watch any of the Scream. Well, like I said before, I don't watch those movies because the wife doesn't want to watch them. She don't like horror movies, so it's hard for me to get my horror freak on. Because if she's not at work, that's the only time, when she's at work, that's the only time I can really watch movies like that.
I hear you, Joe. I mean, hey, I grew up in a family whole family that didn't like horror movies, so I know exactly.
My whole family was just the opposite. I mean, my kids were watching these movies like way younger than most kids probably would have seen them. My brother and I were big into the horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I'm the only one in my family who was really that big into horror movies ever since I was 5. So, but
my brother is just as much of a horror fan as I am, if not more.
I see.
He's probably seen all the Saw franchise. He's probably seen all of these already too. All the Screams.
Oh yeah, I remember first watching the Scream movies when I was 11, back when they were on AMC. So my parents allowed me to watch it on primetime TV because they censor everything on there. But but now as an adult, I can watch all of these, the way they are, as is. Yeah, I've come a long way. But anyway, so Scream 4 marks the return of Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, the return of Courtney Cox, David Arquette. Yeah, even though the cast and also the director Wes Craven vowed that they would not return to the Scream franchise, there wouldn't be any more. But hey, promises were made to be broken.
Yeah, it tends to happen quite a bit. But I got to admit, I was impressed on how much of a star-studded cast It was.
Oh yeah, I saw even just in the opening scene alone, I saw some familiar faces. Like, let's see. Oh yeah, there were. You know how there was that fake out, like a double fake out in the beginning. Like
Yeah,
it was like movie within a movie within a movie.
the movie. Yeah, it was that. It threw me off. That whole first 5 or 10 minutes that took threw me off completely.
Well, the Scream franchise is known for being very meta, so they do things like that. Um, yeah, like because like that's because they and see in the Scream franchise after the first movie they made a movie within a movie, like a franchise called Stab.
Stab, yeah.
Yeah. The first Stab movie should like depicts the events from the first Scream movie. So I'm like, wow, that is incredibly meta. And and like I was trying to say about the fake outs, in the second fake out, which showed Anna Paquin, who I remember as in the X-Men movies.
Yep.
She played Rogue. Yep, and also she was Sookie in True Blood, and she was still doing that show when this movie was being made.
Oh,
Yep, and the other girl that she was with in there was Kristen Bell. What?
True Blood's one of my favorites.
It's good stuff. And the other girl that she was with in there in that segment was Kristen Bell, who 2 years later would play Anna in Frozen. Yeah, so she goes from stabbing Anna Paquin to starring in one of the most beloved Disney films in modern history. Yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, here. Hey, Braxton, how's it going? Yeah.
Hey, Thomas.
how you doing?
Hey, Thomas. Nope, you're not the only one in the chat. There's others. Yeah, there's quite a few people watching right now. And let's see. Wait. Yep, Louisiana. That's right. Yeah, so yeah, this franchise like acts as like a sequel, but also at the same time like a remake. It like follows like it has several of like the formulas like in the first movie, but it's like very modernized. Yeah, like back then it was like it just should show like the whole aspect of live streaming, like we are now. Of depicting of doing live events. Like there was that character Robbie who was like always going around with his camera like headset.
I kind of like that device.
Yeah, it's
I'd
a
like
good one.
to get me one after watching that.
Yes, when I first saw that in theaters, I was just like, "Whoa, where do I get one of those?"
Right.
Oh man.
And that guy was actually that was played by is that wait was that I'm trying to not get confused. I had to look him up because he looked familiar. Was that the one that had the long hair?
No, that was
that was
that was
buddy.
Charlie.
That was his buddy.
Yes, that was Charlie.
I had to look him up because that guy looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
He's related to Macaulay McCulkin, the guy that did Home Alone.
That's right. Charlie in this is played by Rory Culkin, who is the younger brother of Macaulay Culkin. Yep, younger brother of Macaulay Culkin.
Man.
Yeah,
he looks a lot like his brother too.
He does. You see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other horror film that I know, actually, there was 2 horror films that I know him from. The first one was his brother Macaulay was the main star of it. It was more like a thriller called The Good Son, where he played a killer. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, The Good Son. Yeah, but then the second horror film he was in was M. Night Shyamalan's Signs.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, yeah, that was way back in the day. I was just a kid back then. Oh, here, let's get to some questions. Hey Don, what are your thoughts of the new Scream they did a few years ago where they picked Jenna Ortega? Oh, those were great. I love those, the new ones. Yes, we will get to those. Yeah, Scream and Scream 6. I know the 5th movie is called Scream. Yeah, I know it confuses some people.
What?
I know.
I'll be one of those going,
Oh yeah, it's kind of like how they call the new Texas Chainsaw sequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, they got to stop doing some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's just their way of making it seem like a whole new thing for the new generation. Yeah. And let's see. I totally remember Home Alone. Don't we all?
Well, everybody does. That's traditional Christmas music, Christmas movie nowadays.
Oh yes, it's traditional, especially for us Chicagoans.
Yeah, yeah, because it
That's
takes
true.
place in Chicago. It starts there.
Oh yeah, in the north side, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, hold on, I just gotta. Okay. Um, let's see. So here, I'm sorry, I had something on here. Okay.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
and there were another familiar face on here was Hayden Panettiere. I think I always have a hard time
Yeah,
pronouncing her last
Hayden Panettiere.
name. Yeah, Tara. Yes, she got. I remember her from way when I was little. She was starring in a lot of Disney stuff. She was doing voices. She was a voice of Dot in A Bug's Life. She was a voice. She also did a voice in Dinosaur, I believe. That was back in 2000.
She also did the Bring It On, one of the Bring It On movies,
Yeah,
and yeah, she's been in a lot of things that I've seen over the years.
yeah. I Love You, Beth Cooper. She was a Beth Cooper in that, and also she when one of the things that I cherished most from childhood, she played Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts. Yep, another Disney star.
So I'm just going through.
Yeah. So yeah, Joe, who is your favorite? Who are you guys' favorite characters in this?
Joe, you go first.
You know, I was thrilled by those two guys that were filming and all. You know, like trying to, the one had the
Hey,
camera
Tom.
and the other. Yeah, those two guys. I like those two guys.
Oh yeah, Charlie and Robbie. Yes, those guys were. I liked them, but that reveal in the end was pretty shocking.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Yeah, it's like even today, it's nice to know that even they were able to come up with good twists like that. That's what Scream is. One of the biggest things that Scream is known for is having a good twist in the end as who the killer is.
Yeah, I thought all wrong on that one.
Yeah, the movie always has you
That
guessing.
end, and it's like, really? And then I didn't see her killing him either at the end because they were partners, and then all of a sudden she kills her partner in the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a twist too.
So I'm just reading comments.
Oh yeah, Tom is here. Hang on.
Yeah.
I have a
Pickle
question.
Tom.
Yeah.
Pickles.
I have
Where are
allergy
you,
issues in my
Pickles?
life. The congestion was
Okay.
really hitting me. Oh yeah, everybody's having allergy issues lately, man. So I
Yeah,
know,
me too.
I know, I got you. Yeah, me, I've had to take a Claritin myself every once in a while.
I take generic allergy pills, like 2 of these every morning. They last all night. And what, like, have an allergy? I didn't have allergies till I moved out here
Let's see.
in the
Right.
country.
We're the same where we are. Those London plane trees.
Oh man, yeah, but let's see. Yeah, and they and I love how those two just go over all sorts of a new set of rules because it's a new generation. There's all sorts of new things going on in Scream. Like the deaths are more brutal, and even like they said, virgins can die now. Yeah, and like they kind of had this idea that if you that your one of your biggest chance of surviving the movie is if you were gay.
Yeah, I like their like rules that they were coming up with. You
Oh,
know, it's like, really?
yeah, that's right. That's
Sorry,
who that
I'm
is.
just tagging
Yes.
you. Yeah, that's me.
Right. Yeah, and so yeah, like once again, this takes place in Woodsboro, on the anniversary of the original killings from the first movie, and Sydney is back to promote her new book, like a self-help book, and when she returns to town, the killings start all over again, like a whole new ghost face is on the rise. Yeah, and yeah, and then and I just and also she and of course the killers are going after all these. Well, hold on, we're getting a message from somebody.
It's just Chris.
Oh, I
Hey,
see.
Chris, how you doing?
Hey, Chris.
Saying cool.
Yeah.
I can see things fast because I've got double monitors.
Ah, right. Yeah, I got that. I kind of got that going on. This and on my my iPad right there. So yeah, I'm able to keep up with both. Yeah, and what's going? And I gotta say, the good. Hey Sarah, how's it going? Yeah. So yeah, after the two after the two fake outs, like they call like the ghost face is calling the girls that are in the actual movie in the actual Scream 4. Yeah, like one of them is named like Jenny. This is like right after he kills the other girl. Yeah, the killer calls Jenny and like she thinks she's smarter than the killer, saying, "I got a GB." I thinks that this whole thing's just a prank. That she's too smart to fall for it, saying, "Oh, I got a 4.0 GPA and an IQ of 135."
Yeah, it's like that's not going to help you.
No, and also in the word, it has been said by
And,
it has
and
been said,
I
and
liked how he tricked the one girl too when he asked her. It was a trick question, and you're like, my God, everybody should know that by now. He's like, who was the killer in Friday the 13th?
Jason. Yeah,
No,
that's right.
he got it.
It was
She got
Jason's
it
mother.
wrong because it was
Yep,
Jason's
Jason's
mother.
mother. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what she said in that. But no, the killer wasn't Jason in Friday the 13th. I mean, he was the killer in the remake of Friday the 13th, yes, but in the original, no, Jason's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to do a shout out to Jess. Sorry.
You're like, I'm sitting there like, come on, you got this, you got this. And she answers wrong.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was Drew Barrymore's character in the first movie. But
yeah, I noticed that she was in the first one because I started watching it and then I said, nah, I better watch the fourth one and make sure I watch it. I'm gonna go back and watch the other three.
All right.
Eventually.
You can't make sense out of crazy. Huh, ain't that the truth? But yeah, the way that Jenny, that character boasting about her IQ, I mean, in the words of, it has been said by the late Stephen Hawking that those who boast about their IQ are losers. It's like, and also for example, me, I'm not gonna say on here on my channel at all what my IQ is, but it is an IQ that I am satisfied with, and I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal what it is. Hey, well, you're a little late, Billy, but it's okay. You're fine.
Hey Jess. So Jess is from Perth, West Australia. She's actually on my Paranormal Perth team, so she's just watching us as well. So just do a shout out to you. Hey Billy.
Be fired. Don is surrounded by. Oh, okay. Spaceballs reference. I got you. Oddly satisfying that a know-it-all gets some comeuppance. Yeah, don't they always? Yeah, I knew I got the reference, Billy. So no, you're good. I got you. Don't try to trust Disney no more. Oh, yeah. Someone screamed it. Oh, it must be okay. But yeah, like after that, like you see like people have been putting all kinds of ghost face masks on the posts, those lamp posts. At first, I thought it was like a celebration. It's like who the hell celebrates like a killer being in your town? But so then, yeah. So then the cops were taking that down. So I was just like, oh, it's vandalism, or not vandalism. It's like just a bunch of teenagers messing around.
Yeah. And the sheriff had to go and make sure they were all taken down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Jessica.
I kind of liked how they even put in a little like love twist in there because that blonde deputy added in for the sheriff.
Yeah, Judy
had
Hick.
a thing for the sheriff because every time she approached his wife, we got really nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like like some kind of well, even though Dewey was staying faithful to Gail, and crazy thing, they actually, those actors were married in real life when this movie was being made. Yeah,
they were. David Arquette was married to
Courtney Cox. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they were
what
together.
A lucky bastard.
Yeah, but they got divorced a little while after the movie was released. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier, Billy. We were mentioning that Anna Paquin and Kristen Bell. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize her right away. I had to rewind that scene a couple of times because those they had those girls as blonde both times, you know.
Yeah, they kind of did.
And seeing Anna Paquin blonde instead of as Rogue for me is kind of hard to, you know, see her. You know, I don't recognize her if she's not like a dark hair color.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Babyface.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Because she was also in my favorite movie, Almost Famous.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I know it's not a horror movie, but it was like based on somebody's real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was blonde in True Blood.
Was she really?
Yeah, she was.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah.
never saw that, so.
Yeah, she was Sookie. That's right. And
And every
yeah.
time you say that, I think of the Fast and the Furious franchise,
Oh yeah.
Sookie, because that's one of those card ones that the one that drives that pink anime car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Isn't she married to one of the actors in True Blood as well in real life?
Yes. True Blood is another example of actors who meet on set, fall in love, and get married, just like Courtney Cox and David Arquette did in Scream. Yeah, in True Blood, Anna Paquin got married to the actor who played Bill Compton. In True Blood. Trying to remember what his name was. Stephen Moyer, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So yes, Sookie. Great. Yes, that's right. She was in Fast and Furious. Yeah. And yeah, like some of you in the comments are saying that Ghostface is now on Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that is true. I just love
Is
how.
on Mortal Kombat as in the game?
Yes, I like. It's like
Really?
Mortal Kombat's been doing that for the past a little more than a decade now. They've been throwing in all kinds of horror villains like Freddy Krueger. They threw in Jason, Leatherface, Alien, Predator.
I guess I'm going to have to get the newest Mortal Kombat. I've got them all up to like 11, I think was the last one that I got.
Mm-hmm.
I love that franchise.
It's great. Yeah.
I've got all the games, the original 3. I played them in the arcades for the first time. When those were in the arcades, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Mortal Kombat is the best. Yes, it's one of the.
I stood in line for like 3 hours to play Mortal Kombat 3 when it was released in the arcade.
Movies were terrible. Yes, I agree to that to some degree. I understand why you think that, especially with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That was an utter mess. But I do like the new one that came out for HBO. The recent one. I thought that was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch anything after Annihilation because I didn't think they could do any of it justice. But.
Well, this time they did the characters justice. I mean, the characters were a lot like the characters in the games.
Yeah, but it was also they've got enough technology that they should be able to really do better with the special effects too. I thought it really sucked in the first 2.
At least it's R-rated. Yes, the new Mortal Kombat is R-rated for good reason. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, as for Scream 4, I like how there was like that reference, that throwback to the beginning where it showed like when Ghostface was going after Jenny, like he was like using the garage door on her, and like just like Tatum in the original Scream.
See, I wouldn't be able to do it knowing I haven't watched the original 3 yet.
Oh yeah. I gotta say, like the third one, I do consider the third one to be the lowest point of the franchise, but after that, it gets better.
Well, I like the way they cast it. You know, they did a good job with an all-star cast.
Hey, Cyrus.
You know, and I noticed that when I was kind of looking at the first one, that was an all-star cast too.
It was.
So did they do that for the other two in between 2 and 3?
They have had some big names in 2 and 3. Yeah, they did have some big names in 2 and 3. Like in the second film, it opened with Jada Pickett Smith. I don't believe she was married to Will Smith just yet at the time. The third film had a few cameos. One being with Lance Henriksen. Let's see, the other one was Princess Leia.
Oh wow, she's long gone too now.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah, I'll have to watch those because they're all on Max right now. I believe 1, 2, 3, and 4, of course.
They are.
Because that's where I watched them was Max.
Yep, Carrie Fisher. That's right. So,
Wow.
is your podcast on Spotify? Not yet. Trying to work my way towards that. But until then, they're on my
That was
YouTube
me.
channel. Hi. But until then, Cyrus, they're on my YouTube channel.
How come you're not on Spotify?
Just still trying to figure out how to do that.
Oh, well, talk to me after this is over and I'll tell you how.
For sure.
Talk about that.
It's
Sorry,
real,
guys. I'm going to
it's
have to
real
head off.
easy. You get on Spotify, Amazon Music, all these places.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Okay, subscribe and turn on post notifications. Oh, I appreciate that, Cyrus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is a great show to subscribe
Okay, guys. Sorry for the
to.
short notice, but I have to head off. My
I
headache's
understand.
pounding at the moment. So, thanks for having me. Take care.
Yeah,
See you guys later.
You as well. Yeah, you as well.
Bye, Nikki.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, the first three have some pretty big names, and the ones upcoming, the ones that come after this one, actually, and they have some pretty big names as well. Like a lot of people, myself included, are praising Jenna Ortega's performance in 5 and 6.
So there's 6 of them right now.
Yes, and they're working on a 7th. Hey, Leon, how's it going?
Another one they're going to take too far.
Yeah, they seem to. It's like people are excited now because they brought Neve Campbell back to reprise the role of Sydney. But yeah, she wasn't in the 6th one because she had a dispute about her salary.
Well, I could see how they could. I mean, aside from all the other bad, after a certain point, you can't watch some of the sequels. Let's go. Friday the 13th, the Leprechaun series, Halloween. After a certain point, they get unbearable to watch. But I could see if they do it right, they could keep this going for a while.
They could. They absolutely could.
I mean, I really, really enjoyed the concept of like the movie within the movie, type deal. The stab references and stuff, all of that. But it was more like referring to what happened in earlier movies.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I've never seen that before, it was well done in my eyes.
Oh yeah. It's like even in the beginning of this film, like this movie is very self-aware as to what it is. Like remember like in the fake outs, the two characters were like discussing how like how sequels tend to drag on and on.
Right.
Yeah, they were even this movie was poking fun at that. Yeah, that's right.
Those few things, those few scenes at the beginning, they kind of like, is this the movie? Is this what's going on here? Because all of a sudden, you got 2 hot-looking blondes, and then one just stabs the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit.
I know.
But it was something that was a lot different. I mean, you don't see stuff like that too often.
No.
And they did it so well because I mean, I didn't watch the first three, but holy shit, I was second guessing. You know, I can usually predict everything in these movies because after a long time, you know, watching horror movies, you got to agree they get predictable.
At times they do. Yeah, like in the Scream movies, they always try to switch things up.
Right. So, I mean, I was like wrong a lot, you know, trying to guess what was going to happen next.
Yes.
I don't think I got a single thing right.
Yeah, no, this movie, like, it's like, even though lots of people like think Scream is just the same thing over and over, but there was always twists and turns that they always throw in. So in a way, there are new things with each installment.
Yeah, I definitely got the killers wrong at the end. You
It
know,
confused the hell out of me, but they planned it that way. Yeah, they kind of did. They wanted to go pretty meta with it. Yeah, they wanted to go meta with it. Yeah, occasionally I do join them in their paranormal investigations to do film work. Yes. I like unpredictability. Oh yeah.
yes,
So do I. Yes.
that's the best thing that you can do for a horror movie.
For sure. And binge Friday the 13th all weekend. Next, Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, you're binging the franchises, huh? Yeah, I don't blame you. I've got the franchises myself.
I can only take them so far.
Yeah, and yeah, like
and I don't like any of the remakes.
Well, there were some pretty talented people who worked on the Scream franchise. Like originally, the whole thing was written by Kevin Williamson, who's had his name in all sorts of things, including horror. Like he was the writer for "I Know What You Did Last Summer." He also wrote Dawson's Creek, so he's done some teen drama. He's known for, I take that back, not just horror stuff. He's mainly known for doing stories that focus on teenagers.
I was gonna say, wasn't Dawson's Creek like a TV series?
Yes, back in the 90s. I remember that. I still remember the advertisements back then. And yeah, he wrote that. He also did let's see, Vampire Diaries. He's creator of that. Let's see. I believe he also wrote The Faculty. He did. Yeah. Scream 4 is the best sequel to Scream. Oh, yeah, it's definitely one of the better sequels. Totally. And I love the newer ones too. I don't want to. Yes, I still remember that song.
You know, and then you have Wes Craven. That guy's had such a resume.
Oh yes, and he started off as an English teacher, and then he became a filmmaker.
Really, he was an English teacher.
That's how he started. Oh yeah, that's what he started off with. Yeah, you'd be amazed at what career changes people have had. I mean, look at Sean Connery. I mean, he was a truck driver, and then eventually got into acting and became one of the biggest actors of all time.
Yeah, a lot of them had, done the school of hard knocks, so to speak. Paid their dues.
Right.
But you got those big names, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Clive Barker,
Mm-hmm.
He's right up there in those names,
It's amazing. Follow your dreams. Oh yes, always. Oh yeah, but let's see. Jill Roberts should return in the future. Oh, probably as a completely different character then. Oh, you mean Emma, the actor Emma Roberts? Oh yeah. Oh, and yeah, Joe. It's also worth mentioning Emma Roberts, who played Jill in this, the killer. Yeah, Emma Roberts. She comes from a big acting family. Her father is Eric Roberts, and her
really.
And her aunt is Julia Roberts.
Well, I know that because Eric and Julia I've always known about them being brother and sister.
First Scream is the best. Oh yeah, a lot of people say nothing beats the original. Yep. Yeah, James Cameron. He won. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like even it's amazing how far people go with how far people come with their film careers. I mean, when James Cameron was working on Terminator, he was living out of his car. And now he's the highest grossing director of all time. With the Loomis sisters out. Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. Because I'm strongly against Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I mean, Jenna Ortega, I can understand. You know, she's had scheduling conflicts. She's working on season 2 of Wednesday.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
was in there.
Yep.
And then there was this one actress that I spotted in there
Oh, yeah?
that I got a feeling she's actually got what she said she had in a few episodes of Grey's Anatomy. And she says she had Asperger's. Right? Am I saying that right?
Asperger's syndrome. Yes, that's what I have.
Right.
Yep, that's what I have.
And her name, I just looked up the entire cast of this movie, is Mary McDonald. She played Kate Roberts in the movie. Okay. Now, Mary McDonald is also known for playing the white woman that was raised by Indians in Dances with Wolves. Stands with a Fist was her name in that.
Oh, you know, I know I know who you're talking about. Yes.
And she has kind of the same. I don't know how to say it without being mean or anything, but she has the same characteristics about her that stand out in every one that I've seen her in.
I see.
You know, like she doesn't talk much. It's like, I mean, she's an actress and all, and she's a great actress, but you know, I believe that what she said in Grey's Anatomy was just a part of her bringing it into the, you know, her real life coming into her acting career.
Right. That's true.
Because in Grey's Anatomy, she was a heart surgeon.
Yep. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. My family always loved that show. Yeah. I liked how that Kevin McKidd was in it. He's done all kinds of great work. Let's see. Yeah, people are in the comments are talking about what is the possibility of Jill living, like after Scream 4, after being shot. But yeah, if they bring her back, it's like they're probably just thinking, we can rebuild her. We have the technology.
$6 million man reference.
Or they could have put her in an asylum, criminally insane all these years, and she was drugged. Oh, that's one possibility. If she lived, yeah, that's one likely possibility.
See, they got to leave those movies so that they keep you guessing and want more.
Yeah, that's what they have been doing so far.
You know, that's why you don't know what always happens to, you know, like somebody, you know, they may have gotten shot or stabbed or something, but yet you don't know if they survived or died because the question's not answered in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Either that or she's like really good with staring contests because she died with her eyes open and her eyes never blinked after she had been shot.
Never know.
Here's something about Terminator 1. They filmed most of the scenes without a permit. Yeah, that's true. They did not have the proper permits for some areas. Yeah. And let's see. There was another thing I wanted to discuss. Oh, here. The end of Scream 3 was kind of, it's among other things about Scream 3 were disappointing. Yeah. But let's see. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I like when Ghostface called Jill and Kirby when you know, like they were like under police watch, you know, like inside the house because Ghostface is on the loose, and their friend, let's see, what was the friend's name? Trying to remember whatever friends they, but yeah, they had a friend who was like right across the street. And like they were just like trying to figure, because Jill and Kirby were watching Shaun of the Dead, right? Another good movie that we should definitely cover, by the way. Yeah, and so yeah, Olivia was like right across the street from them. I feel like she should have just gone in the house where they are because then she would still be alive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He
and
calls and it's like,
it's
I'm in the
come on,
closet.
yeah, it's like come on, strength in numbers, people.
I didn't say I was in that closet,
Yeah, I like that whole surprise right there. That actually caught me. Yeah, that actually caught me
because
because
I was like, don't open it, and she goes,
yeah, that's right. He
and
like
then he
goes
says that, and it's like, oh shit, he's
yeah
across the street.
yeah he's across the street in Olivia's closet because yeah the thing is he calls yeah Jill and Kirby like saying that he was in in the closet like like he was standing right in the closet, but he didn't say whose closet he was in.
Right.
Uh yeah, and yeah, they actually yeah, that would actually did take me by surprise. And when they revealed her body later on and it showed the intestines out and everything, I was just like, whoa, man, they're really stepping up on the gore factor here.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
like gutted her like
Yeah.
a fish or
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah, like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Randy should be brought back. Yeah, if only.
I wasn't
What?
expecting the guts.
Oh yeah. Nor was I. And here, Randy should be brought back. Yes, because remember, they can rebuild him. We have the technology. He was still coming out. He was banged around in the van, so maybe that gave him amnesia. He was only stabbed 4 times. Well, 4 times is all it takes. And yeah, because if you hit organs, certain arteries, yeah, you could just bleed to death within seconds. So yeah, four stabs. It's like
Yeah, and it was a pretty big knife.
and it was yeah. I mean,
like a butcher knife.
Yeah. It's like you look at movies and you look at like I always pay attention to like the amount of blood somebody loses. I'm thinking, like I pay attention to like how much blood someone loses to determine if it's like the kind of blood loss that would cause death. It's like I mean, you look at all the time at these shark movies. You see like people like getting getting attacked and they have this blood spurter and they survive. And I'm just like, no, that kind of blood loss would cause death. Here, Don, did you ever want to be
in the water? It makes the blood loss look like it's more than what it really is.
Yeah, sometimes I guess. Here, Josh,
it that way.
Don, did you ever want to be an actor? There are some times where I did, mainly like doing voice acting because of all the different impressions I can do. But there actually is someone who's acting in my family. Her name is Allie Cobran. Yeah, her name is Allie Cobran. She's my older cousin. She has been in movies like American Reunion, Neighbors. She's done some comedy stuff. And most recently, she has been in the Amazon Prime series, The Baxters. She's the lead in that. So definitely check out that show. It's awesome. I figured being stabbed once is bad enough. Yes. Well, there are occasions where you can survive like one stab wound, but if it gets into certain veins and arteries, then your chances are lower.
Yeah, it all depends on where you're stabbed.
Yeah, like for example, if you're stabbed in cut in say I don't know the carotid artery, the carotid artery. That's like the vessels that pump blood from the heart to the brain. Yeah, that's a major artery. That gets damaged, you could bleed out within seconds.
Well, she at the end she stabbed her partner. Oh, that wasn't what you were supposed to go like for the shoulder, and she went right for the middle of his chest and got him in the heart.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, like so. Yeah, of course, getting stabbed in the heart. And also, speaking of getting stabbed, you remember that character, Officer Perkins, who clearly was a reference to Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates in Psycho. You remember how his character got stabbed right in the head, and he was able to just walk for a few seconds? And I'm like, no, there's no way you would survive that.
I mean, that's like getting shot in the head. You're down, done, over.
Right.
Because you get shot right between the eyes, they're down, done, over. Well, fucking knife goes in, it's going to do more damage than that bullet.
That's right. Here, Billy's asking me, Don, which one was she in American Reunion? Was she the girl who Jim used to babysit for? Yes, she was Kara. Yep, that's my cousin Allie. She was in that. She was in Neighbors with Zac Efron. So she's done all kinds of great work. She's had a pretty she's had a fairly good career. Let's see. But say he loved and Randy has a new name or he's located somewhere with amnesia. Unlikely. But yeah, I like how like you were saying before about the love triangle about Judy Hicks. She actually does come back in the next movie in Scream 5. Yeah.
Yeah, well, isn't his wife dead now too? Though, didn't she die in that one, or did she survive? Was she one of the survivors?
Oh, Gail? Yeah, yeah, Gail survived. It's like I'm just thinking back to that line that Dewey said towards to Gail, because Gail wanted to was like kind of just doing like going out on her own, like when she felt like she wasn't being supported enough by Dewey, in the whole situation with the ghost face.
Well, you helped me with the other three, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like he said that line in the end, like saying, "From now on, it's not all out on your own. From now on, it's you and me." And I'm just thinking, that looking back at that, I'm just thinking, wow, that line did not age well.
No, but it also leaves it open for like if they do it and do their little twists and stuff. Say that. Miss Deputy there. What was her name?
Yeah, Judy. But thing is, the reason why I'm saying that line did not age well is because they're not together in real life anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Yeah, Don. That's right. I could do an impression of Donald J. Trump there, as well as Beetlejuice. Be sure to see the new one. If you haven't, what the hell's wrong with you?
I'm waiting for it to come to streaming.
Evan Williamson is one who was against bringing back characters. Yeah, likely it won't happen. Yes, very likely.
Or when it comes out on DVD, I'll go out and buy it.
Yeah, like a lot of people have been saying that they wish the character, Stu from the first movie, he was one of the two killers. He was the one who was killed by the having the TV smashed in his face and get electrocuted. People said, "Oh, what if he actually did come back?" And I'm like, yeah, not likely.
No, this movie is not like going to have them some supernatural.
Yeah, it did serve its purpose. Yeah, I agree, Josh. I completely agree with you. Jim Carrey, Grinch, do good. Yes, I do. Yeah, some people out there want to spend a little quality time with the Grinch. Yeah, Jim Carrey. Are you having a holly jolly Christmas?
He did a great
Wrongo.
Though.
Wrongo. Classic. I love that ever since I was little. Oh, here, I just got to respond to this message.
He did a great job playing the Grinch.
Yes, he did.
I grew up watching the old, I don't know if it was in the 60s or the 70s that the cartoon was made. Because they had all those Dr. Seuss cartoons and stuff. And they were all back repeats when I was a kid. So I grew up watching the classic cartoon, and based on that, he did a great job.
He did. I mean, yeah, this is like when Jim Carrey's career was like really at its peak through the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, he was. I mean, just in 1994 alone, he put out like three. He was the main star in three of the biggest comedies that year. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura.
I loved The Mask. That was funny.
It was. He. That's what I'm always telling people. Jim Carrey is like a living cartoon character.
Yeah, he's like, he could, I mean, he kind of like was like an up and coming like Robin Williams, the way that Robin Williams did things, you know.
Babyface,
he was a big kid all his life. And
yeah, Babyface, I agree with you 100%. Grinch, way better than Cat in the Hat, that movie that struck a heavy blow on Mike Myers' career.
Yeah, I didn't like that one too much.
Me neither. It's not Riddler to me. It's Paul Dano. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jim Carrey tends to always go very over the top, goofy with his characters. But yeah, he
wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't made for the Riddler.
Yeah, and also Tommy Lee Jones, hated working with him.
Yeah, because he's goofball.
Yeah, he said, and I quote, that he cannot sanction Jim Carrey's buffoonery.
Yeah, meaning he could never be serious.
Well, yeah, Jim Carrey has done some serious work in the past. Yeah. Yeah, so there are some not like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, that was a good one. What else? What was I gonna say? And also when Sydney was like going into the house after Olivia, like when Ghostface was killing Olivia, it's like Sydney, what are you doing going in there without a weapon? Like seriously, Ghostface carries around a hunting knife and is carrying around a dagger, and you're going in there with nothing. Like, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Well, they don't. Oops, excuse me. They don't always have common sense in those movies. You know.
Here, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta check something.
Oh, he's leaving me alone. This show's gonna get ruined.
I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, here. Oh, he's saying that glad I made a comeback with comedy. Like, oh yes, he did. Definitely did. His Robotnik is classic Jim Carrey. Yep, it is. You're not alone. You're never alone, Joe. This should be revealed as Jim Carrey in one of the films. Yeah, not likely. Where is Nick? Oh, Nick is taking a break. He's working on his own projects, so he'll come back one day. He will soon. Yeah.
I gotta admit, though, it is a good movie. It makes me want to watch the other three.
Hang on. Yeah. So yeah, Nick will be back soon. He's got his own little independent projects going on. He's you know how he's focusing on, he like loves scary stories to tell in the dark. He's doing his own version of that and like doing his voiceover work for it. So yeah, but he should be done. Like he should be back real soon. And I got just the thing that'll bring him back. Soon we'll be covering Halloween 3, and you just know he's not going to miss that one. So if Nick has a hard time bringing back, I know how to bring him back, and that is by having us do a movie that he loves.
I like that movie. I love that movie. I've seen it 1,000 times. You know, and I'll say it now and I'll say it then on next night when we do it. It should have been a standalone. You know, or they should have put Michael Myers in there somewhere, kind of lurking in the shadows towards the end or something, just to tie it in.
Right. That's true. Oh, here. Can I show you something related to Scream, an actor, a messenger? Okay. What do you got for me, Billy? Let's see it. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing. Hello. Yes, we are both doing well. Yeah, covering another slasher for the Halloween season. And yeah, some people are saying, why aren't you covering Halloween movies? We're saving, because the thing is, we do Halloween movies. We only do one movie of the franchise per year. We always do it on the Tuesday before Halloween. And so we've done that last 2 years ago. We did that with the first Halloween movie. Last year we did Halloween 2. This year Halloween 3. Next year Halloween 4. We're kind of doing it in the way that's how, like around St. Patrick's Day, how we've been covering Leprechaun movies. People have said like I should cover like all the Leprechaun movies at once, but but the thing is, if we do that, we don't really have much to cover on future St. Patrick's Day. So I decided to make that like the annual special for St. Patrick's Day, covering a Leprechaun movie.
Good deal.
Yes.
Good idea.
Oh, Phantasm. Yes, those were pretty good. Yeah, one movie that I'm thinking definitely we should cover soon is Candyman. People have been asking me about that.
I would love that.
Yes, Tony Todd, amazing guy.
I've seen all three of those.
Oh yeah, you can watch him now on
With
Shudder.
with Tony Todd on it. Tony Todd. I've
Yep.
seen all three of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, here another scene I want to discuss. You know how Ghostface goes after Sydney's publicist, who was like really just focusing on making money rather than what's been going on. You know. Oh, Nick has just announced something to us. I don't want to reveal it on the live stream, but something exciting, something pretty exciting. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you guys.
I forgot about that. He said that during golf it the other night.
Oh, did he? Oh, I must have missed that message. But
well, we weren't live either.
Only Tony Todd can be Candyman. Yes, I don't picture anybody else doing Candyman other than Tony Todd. That guy's amazing.
No, nobody else but Tony Todd for Candyman.
Oh yeah. So when Ghostface is in, you remember in the parking garage where Ghostface goes after Cindy's publicist? Yeah, like it's like when I get a phone call from someone like that, I would not want to be in that parking garage going for my car. No, I want to be going back inside the hospital where there are people around. I would want to stick where there's other people rather than just going in the dark alone. You know.
And then all of a sudden her car alarm goes off to give away that she's in the parking garage.
Yep. And then she goes into
because she was saying she was someplace else.
Right. And then she tries to go into the car and start it, and then it's like the old car won't start cliche. Yeah. Oh, here. The dude that voices Ghostface is the right kind of creepy. Yes, I totally... yes, I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, the voice of Ghostface, Roger Jackson, nobody else can do it like him. Nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's that gave me the thought a couple of times, just call up a couple of people like my daughter who's probably seen all the movies, all the Scream movies, and call her up and say, what's your favorite movie?
Hello, Sydney. I wish I could do that voice better. I wish I could.
I wish I could do voices.
Seriously, I wish when I was like 10 years old, when I started to like mimic other voices, like the first one was Stitch, then I changed it to Gollum because their voices are similar. But I just always wish I could do Ghostface's voice. Yeah, just do Ghostface's voice. I would just do that to mess with people, you know. Mm-hmm. Like me and my buddies used to make prank calls. They had me do accents and all that. But I wish I could have done Ghostface. I would just be like, what's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, I mean, like that would be the ultimate prank around this time. You know, if you could do the voice. I mean, I can't do any voices. When I was younger, I was able to do Tigger, you know, from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yeah.
So good that little kids thought he was in the Disney store with them.
I made my
Where is he?
Yeah. I made my niece Maeve back when she was a year old. She loves Mickey Mouse, so I was like, when her back was turned, I was doing Mickey Mouse's voice, saying, "Hiya, Maeve," and
you did that pretty good.
Yeah, and like when she looked at me, I wasn't doing the voice anymore, and then when she was like, but then she just looked at the TV. I guess she thought like a Mickey Mouse show was playing. TV wasn't even on, and then she was looking around saying, "Mouse, mouse." Oh God, yeah, she's 7 years old now, and she was just and my cousin just got married, and Maeve was the flower girl. Yeah, she was very happy about that. Oh yeah, that's right. Over this weekend, I've been busy because my cousin just got married, so it was a big day for my family.
Nice.
Poor kid. Well, hey, I was just being the fun uncle. You know, she figured it out eventually.
I would have rather been at a wedding than a funeral.
Yeah,
on Saturday, I was at a funeral for a 19-year-old.
Ooh.
And her birthday was like that Friday before the funeral, so she would have been 20 if she was still alive.
Man.
She was on the severe end of the spectrum too.
Ooh.
Where she could barely function.
Well, my sincerest condolences. May she rest in peace.
But I would have rather been at a wedding, you see.
I totally get it. I hear you.
And especially a funeral for a kid. You know, I mean, it's one thing if it's like one of the elders in the family, because most of them are in their like late 70s, early 80s, you know. they've lived a full life.
Right.
You know, or somebody like me, I've lived a full life. I'm 57 years old. But, you know, a kid is very sad.
Yes.
And I've watched her grow up.
Oh
And
man.
it was just,
Well.
yeah.
Well. Again, Joe, you have my sincerest condolences.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, back to the movie.
Right. So, I like how the cinema club scene that Charlie and Robbie were running, like where they discuss what the new
Oh, that
formula.
underground cinema thing that they were trying to. Where is it? Where is it? Tell me where it is.
Oh yes, yeah, they were discussing their stabathon and also discussing the whole new formula for the killings that are taking place in this, and I just love how, yeah, and I just love all the posters they have in the background.
Oh yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yes, and a few of them were movies that were directed by Wes Craven. It showed the original Hills Have Eyes. It had what was it? The people. It had The People Under the Stairs, which I think is, yes, The People Under the Stairs. I find that pretty underrated. I thought it was good.
That was a great movie.
It is, and let's see. Yeah, I saw People Under the Stairs back in. Oh man, I was 16 at the time. I watched it on Svengoolie with my cousin Jack.
I don't remember when I watched it. It was during the time of the video store days. You know, when I was managing video stores. And The Hills Have Eyes, that movie kind of freaked me out. You know, the original.
Oh yeah, I've seen the original and the remake. Remake is much more chilling, much more gruesome. No, I take that back. Not more chilling, more gruesome. They seriously upped the factors in in brutality, in gore, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Thanks, Billy.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Shaggy
That
was
is cool.
Yep. Yeah, Stu. Yeah, he was Ghostface. Spring Ghoul. Yeah,
Sure.
missed those
Make
days.
the stoner guilty.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. You know, Shaggy and Scooby, in my eyes, have to be stoners. I mean, nobody eats that much.
They absolutely are, and it's amazing. It's amazing how they could just throw that joke into a kids show and just completely get away with it. Man,
Well, they did it for years with H.R. Puffin Stuff cartoons. You know, I can't remember who created that.
Yeah,
Sidney Croft.
Yeah, them just getting away with all these stoner jokes. Yeah, us kids were so naive back then.
Oh yeah. You know, those cartoons back then, in my day, back in the 60s and the 70s and stuff, the cartoons I was watching, those were made for adults originally. Cartoons were made for adults.
Yeah, a lot of them were.
You know, you watched them when you were a kid and all innocent and stuff, and then you turn around and watch some of those cartoons as an adult, and you go, oh my God, I can't believe they got away with some of this stuff. You know?
I know, it's crazy. Then, so let's talk about that underground party scene where they were showing all the stab movies, and and Gail decides to sneak into there with a ghost face mask because that was the theme there, and so putting out all these web cameras so she could track what's going on, and then what I thought was kind of dumb in the scene was all the audience in that stabathon, they were just like watching the first movie. Apparently, they know all these movies by heart because they're making a drinking game out of it.
Right.
Yeah. But then it replays that shower scene. The girl takes off her robe. Goes to go in the shower. But then, I mean, it doesn't show any nudity. It's all
right.
But then she puts the robe back on, and then all the audience is like, "Aw!" But it's like, well, why are you disappointed? You know what's going to happen in this movie, so why are you expressing that disappointment after all those times you've seen it? That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it didn't to me either. But the nice twist was when she was setting out of all those cameras, and when she turned around, when she was up above, where all the hay was,
in the loft,
and she turned around, and there's another camera watching her that she didn't place.
Yeah, Ghostface. Ghostface brought his own cameras. Yeah, because they did mention that Ghostface would, in this new generation, and he would want to film his work.
Right.
Yeah. They mentioned Shaggy was a stoner in the R-rated version of the Scooby-Doo movie. Oh yeah, and
It was
also,
an R-rated version of a movie.
well, he wants to they're planning on having an R-rated version, or at least I mean, at least what Matthew Lillard, at least he wants an R-rated version.
No.
But I think they should avoid, because Velma was bad enough, and thank God that mess is over. Thank God that's been canceled.
Well, I don't like how they did. There's just some things they shouldn't have messed with. Like Fantasy Island shouldn't have been turned into a horror movie.
No.
Winnie the Pooh as a horror movie. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they won't stop.
You just messed up my childhood, so I ain't gonna watch that one.
Yeah, they said the second one is better, but I don't even want to try it. But let's see.
What's next? You're gonna have Tigger going around bouncing on everybody and killing them with a tail?
He kills them with claws.
Oh, well,
They did throw that character in. Yes, they did have that Tigger character in the second one. So, yeah, that's another part of it.
I'm glad I didn't watch them because I'm a big Tigger fan, and that would just ruin everything.
Yep. Yeah, they're making a Killer Bambi one, and they're also creating their own like Avengers style multiverse, like cinematic universe with those characters. I'm just like, God, what are they doing? What are they doing? Messing with Disney like that? Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's what makes some of these, but more fun to watch. They're done well. It's something I haven't seen before. It kept me on my toes. I didn't get anything right, so it was very unpredictable.
Poonerverse?
That sounds like a porn movie.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that one.
Oh.
See, Donald has a red hair.
Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump, I'm playing a red herring. That's right.
Let's see. Blood and Honey is not, at least. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are saying the second one is good, though, but I'm not buying it. Yeah. And also, there's let me go back to the scene where there were two deputies. I thought it was like ironic. The two deputies were like talking about how cops never survive in horror movies, and then they end up becoming part of that cliche.
Yeah, they did.
Let's see, like what was the cop who played Officer Perkins? I've seen him before in a lot of comedies, mainly. Anthony Anderson, that's his name. Yes, I remember being a kid. I saw him in like that comedy. What was it? Kangaroo Jack. So yeah, I was surprised to see him in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it is kind of surprising to see some of these people in the horror movies. Hayden Panettiere wasn't really known for that, or at least in my eyes. I always saw her in these like high school type movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Scream is pretty much high school style movies. I mean, Scream pretty much brought back the teen slasher craze in the 90s.
But I was not surprised at all when I started watching the first one and Drew Barrymore was in it. Because she's been in these movies before.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot of great actresses in the original. Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan. The list goes on.
Oh, she was a porn star. Rose McGowan. She's got a softcore porn out there.
I did not know that. I find that a lot of cops in horror movies act like Barney from Wayne. Yeah, I kind of noticed that too myself.
Because of the paranormal thing, I kind of like the Charm. I know it's more of a chick thing, but I like the Charm series that had her in it, Rose McGowan.
Yep.
So I did research on all three the two of them, because the one I watched grow up in, Who's the Boss. So, but I did research on her and I found that out. I didn't watch the movie.
Right.
But I've seen her in horror movies before too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that wouldn't be surprising for me to see
Yeah.
her in this.
I would say, as far as her, like the craziest thing she's ever done was in that movie Planet Terror, which was part of Grindhouse. Remember that back in 2007? And they played Judy, and Officer Judy in this. She was in that. She was in both of the Grindhouses. Marley Shelton, yeah, she played Dr. Clodagh Block. Here, let me just show you one of the most over the top crazy things ever that Rose McGowan has ever done. Here, let me just find the correct picture for this. Hold on, I believe we did talk about this briefly in when we covered the first Scream movie, but oh, here it is.
Probably wasn't around for the first one.
Here, her leg was eaten away by zombies, so they had
Holy
to.
shit!
Her leg was ripped off by zombies, so they gave her a machine gun, like an assault rifle attachment, in its place. And I'm just like, it's like that's like the most over the top way to take out zombies. I mean,
No shit.
that raises the question. My main question is how. I mean, it's like how is she able to fire that thing? Is anyone's guess. And it's got a
Is
grenade.
that like a missile launcher over there?
Oh
like,
yeah, it's got a grenade launcher attachment too.
Yeah, grenade launcher. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, this is like one of the most over the top things I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's not the kind of thing that seems laughable at first, but when you see her just taking out zombies like it's nothing, it's crazy.
Wow. She play a real badass sometimes.
Yep, that's right. She was in a relationship with that musician Marilyn Manson. Yeah, I don't really.
Freak.
Yeah, I don't really listen to his music. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just like he just weird personality to him. I just heard that he wants.
I'm
Yeah,
just too old to listen to that music.
yeah. I hear that he had like one of his ribs removed because he thought it'd be cool. But yeah, anyway, that guy gives me the creeps.
Yep. You
God bless
give me the creeps too.
Rodriguez.
Right now I'm into country music anyways.
Same.
I mean, unless it's classic rock from the 70s.
Oh yeah, me. I listen to just about anything. I'm not that picky, with the exception of him and also death metal. Yeah, no, and it's like, especially when they speak in those distorted voices, I'm just like, I can't understand a word these guys are saying.
Yeah, there's some music I won't listen to, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to country, I'll listen to rock, I'll listen to pop, I'll listen to all that. But there are just some that, but I do have exceptions.
Yeah, I got exceptions because you can take away my TV and stuff, but you can't take away my music.
Oh yeah, 80s music is great. Yeah,
yep.
Totally.
I grew up in the 80s. The 80s was a great time. I
loved
it.
Yeah, that decade does fascinate us 90s kids.
You had parachute pants, you had break dancing, and all kinds of things. Girls walking around with their hair up about 3 feet above their head because they used about 4 cans of hairspray on it.
Oh, what are they, Marge Simpson? But yeah, big hair was a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah, it was. Look at the out of the 80s, you had the hair bands.
Oh yeah, and also yeah, and also
Motley Crue.
Yeah. Let's see. And also I noticed that with I also noticed that with in Terminator. Yeah, she had big hair. 4 cans of Aquanet.
Yeah. Exactly, Tom.
Yes, Tom. Yeah. Tom knows his stuff about the 80s. He grew up in that era as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
now you got me thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
trying to think of who that woman was now.
When I think about actresses who had big hair back then, I think of Leah Thompson. I think about Linda Hamilton and Terminator.
Thank you. You mentioned Terminator, and I'm like, okay, what was that?
Yeah, Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton, because she was also in Beauty and the Beast too.
And Children of the Corn that same year as Terminator.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Although Terminator, I believe, is the better of those two films.
No, that would be another one just because it's got to do with corn and stuff like that. That would be another one to cover, like right around Halloween.
I may consider it. But yeah, Terminator is definitely one of my favorites of the 80s. Like it has really strong message about our technology advancing far beyond our
Yep.
control.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So
love that movie.
yeah, that movie really does give you a lot to think about.
Sure did.
Yep. Speaking of Donald Trump earlier, have you heard about the special status Trump? Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that one. Wish I was born in the 70s. I feel like I missed out. Oh, yeah. I mean, my dad grew up in the 70s. He would tell you a whole lot about things back then about.
Oh, I could tell you stories about the 70s.
Oh yeah. Be careful who you smoke with aqua. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
So
Your
yeah.
hair to go up.
So what about that twist ending in Scream 4? So we finally get to. It's down to our final teenagers, and it's like you don't know who it could be. It's like it could be literally any one of those kids.
I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, and basically Jill and Charlie were like in the place of what Sydney and Randy were in the first movie. Man, that's basically what Charlie was. He was like Randy from the first movie, but he turned out to be a killer as well. Yeah, that's the thing. Like in Scream, it's always multiple people turning out to be killers, except with the two people, but with the exception of Scream 3, it was only one person.
But you know this twist, and then it's like she turned on him. Was the other twist that they added? Oh, you weren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to get it here. You got me right in the heart, right in the middle.
Yep. Yeah. In the end, all Jill wanted was personal gain. She just wanted fame above anything else. That was her motivation. Yeah, because that's the thing.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Because that motivation in some teenagers is real.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the scary thing about this.
That'd be scary.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest things about this movie is like the whole realism they have as far as like how teenagers are in modern culture. You know, always wanting to go big, get famous. You know, they want to become big on YouTube. They want to become big on TikTok. All those things.
Right. They want their 15 minutes of fame.
That was that was Jill's motivation for these murders. Yeah, it's shocking.
That made her really sick in my eyes.
Mine too. You know, and she killed her own mother for this too.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, but we don't know if she did it or if he did it.
I think there's a good chance that I think she did mention in the end that she actually got her own mother killed in this.
Oh.
She did mention in the end. There are some moments, I mean, where I know who killed who. I mean, Charlie definitely did the killing of definitely killed Olivia in that scene because you know Jill was watching her die, so that had to have been Charlie.
Right.
And the TikTok age, it can be your destruction. Oh yeah.
See, I don't even know what I don't even go on TikTok.
I mean, I only just recently got TikTok, so I'm still learning about it.
No, I refuse. You know, it took me forever to go from MySpace to Facebook. You know, and I was on Twitter until they went to X.
Yeah, I never really got why Elon Musk changed Twitter to X. It's like I respect the guy. He's one of the he one of the biggest entrepreneurs, one of the biggest names as far as space exploration, research, and technology. But him buying Twitter and changing it to X, yeah, I never really got that.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, people are still going to call it Twitter no matter what. Just like here in Chicago, they go changing the name of Sears Tower to Willis Tower. We still call it Sears Tower no matter what.
It's still called the Sears Tower up here too.
Yeah, we still call it
Sears. People that have been around for a long time. Oh yeah, this is Sears Tower. Oh.
Yeah, no matter what company owns it, it's still Sears Tower to us.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, and then all that dialogue and all those scenes where it showed the news reporters covering the story, like talking about how Jill is a hero, she survived all this, but this was like after they shot her, they killed her, but then after she tried to kill Sydney and everybody else, it's like then it shows those reporters talking about Jill, praising her, but it's like, oh, they're going to be in for a big surprise in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them survived that she thought was dead.
Yeah. And she pretty much Jill was the one who pretty much gave that away and gave herself away to Dewey by saying, "Oh, we have the exact same stab wound as Gail," but Gail never revealed to publicly where she was stabbed in. So that's what gave it away to Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame things didn't work out for them in real life.
Shit happens.
Yeah, they've had. I actually researched them a few years ago, and it turns out they've had some rough patches. Apparently, Courtney Cox had a lot of miscarriages, and I'm just like, I was shocked by that.
Well, then you got all the bad publicity, or whether rumors or whatever you want it to be, that get out and that can cause. That's why those Hollywood relationships don't work sometimes.
Yeah,
And it's not their fault as a couple, because God knows they probably tried. But, you come out with this stuff and they can say, oh, it's not true. But then they got pictures and all this stuff that somebody decided to, and it was probably just an innocent thing, got blown out of proportion because they needed to make a buck.
yeah, that's the grim reality of Hollywood.
That's why, I think that those people, what do they call them? The paparazzi?
Yeah, paparazzi, the
They ought to
TMZ,
be shot.
Yeah, the paparazzi, the TMZ.
Yeah, they all should just keep their minds to themselves. If they want their lives public or something made public, they would let you know.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, like there's always no shortage of rumors and secrets just getting out there.
Right. And it's hard to have that kind of relationship and build that kind of trust when you got all those rumors and stuff flying around and you're sitting there questioning whether you should believe it or not.
Right. That's the way it's always been. Yeah, I feel like that is just one of the parts of Hollywood culture that'll never end.
And it won't.
It won't.
It doesn't matter if you're in music industry, the movie industry, or wherever. You're that famous, I mean, I hope they, when they get together, I hope they last a long time, but a lot of them tend to not last very long.
Yep. Yeah.
And the ones that do have worked hard to keep their personal lives private.
That's right.
If you noticed,
Oh yeah. I have noticed that, and truth, yes. Yeah, there are some things that should stay private, and there's a lot of things that should stay private in from the eyes of public.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a reputation of being very open, and on my channel, I'm open about the autism. I'm open about my passion for film, all those things. But I'm gonna and of course, like Braxton said, there are some things you should keep it not put out there, like such as Social Security. That's that's a no brainer.
It's like your personal business. Like I gotta, I don't sit there and talk about my personal relationship with my wife or anything.
Right. I never talk about my personal relationships.
And except that, we've been 10 14 years now.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got a good partnership going.
Right. Yeah.
I don't say much more than that. Anything else we do, that's none of your damn business.
Right. Yeah. I never talk about my personal relationships that I've had on here. Yeah. Because, there's a few of them. Few of my past relationships were hard to talk about.
I could tell you about some past relationships I had, but it's not for here or there either.
Right.
That's more for the doc. But,
but yeah, this character, Jill, me and Nick have discussed how some people just try to get famous and stuff for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here, I didn't start this channel to get famous. I didn't start this channel for money. I didn't start it for any other kind of selfish reason. I just started this channel to just connect with other people who love cinema, who love the entertainment world, and also, well,
Do
there is
something
one,
you're passionate about.
yes, and one other reason is to spread awareness of high functioning autism.
No, see?
I mean, that's not so much selfish. I wouldn't consider that
No.
selfish. I consider it, like there's tons of people out there who don't understand it, and I feel like this is my way of helping them understand.
I started doing this just for something to do because for me, I can't work. They won't let me work, and instead of sitting around doing nothing, this gives me something to do,
Hey, and I appreciate your continued support, Babyface. And
and I didn't do it to be famous either. I did it to leave a mark on YouTube so that when I'm gone, my kids and my grandkids have something than just pictures, something other than just pictures to look back on.
yes, I feel the same way about my channel. It's like decades from now. I mean, obviously, in 100 years from now, I know I'll be gone, but this part of me lives on.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's why I do a lot of what I do. But it's all the things I'm passionate about. I've been a big horror fan all my life.
Same.
I started watching when I was really young.
Same here. This is a passion that I've just discovered from an early age, and I've been using my some abilities that I have to my advantage when it comes to cinema. When it comes to, I mean, it's a long story when it comes to how I was with autism back then, and how how one thing remained constant about it is my passion for and my compulsive need to remember movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a really good memory for these things.
Yeah, it's just something I've always been able to do.
Hey, it may not make you money, but it makes you happy.
It's not just making myself happy; it's making others happy.
Well, that too. I mean, you're recommending good movies for people to watch. I started watching these movies with my dad because it was the thing that we only had a couple of things in common. I didn't like fishing, so couldn't do that. So it was like race cars and horror movies.
Yes.
Because his wife wouldn't watch them either. So it'd be like me and my dad on a Friday night sitting there watching horror movies during the winter, when the racetrack was closed.
Yes. If it wasn't for my dad, I don't think I would be into. I don't think I would have found film, that passion for film, the way I did. Like, because he introduced me to this.
Oh, that was a great movie.
He always believed it too when he first saw it back in 1975 when he was a teenager, and then he showed me that movie, and I've had a strong passion for film ever since.
Yeah, my dad was the type though. When you're sitting there watching the movie and it's getting real suspenseful parts, and he'd sit there and go like this or something at you to try to make you jump or scream.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
But it worked. We were bonding over horror movies. My kids love them because I carried on that tradition. So
oh yeah, I mean, I've watched horror movies in theaters with my dad, and though I do wish we saw better ones because we ended up seeing some that were not so good, like that remake of The Fog from 2005. That was horrible.
Oh
yeah, I wish we had seen better ones.
No, I saw things like Friday the 13th, or not Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it first came out in the theaters.
Oh yeah, and this year marks its 50th anniversary.
What was it, Motel Hell in 80 or 81?
Motel Hell, I remember that one.
That was like a double feature, and I can't remember what the other one that was playing with it. They both had warnings on them.
I can look that up for you. Let's see. Motel Hell double feature. Deranged.
No, it was when it first came out. In
Wait, I'm reading the wrong thing. That shows like a double feature with a DVD, like a double pack. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, I can't seem to find it.
Well, anyway, it was in the drive-in, and they were both newer movies that year. The one might have been 2 years old, though.
Yeah, I'll look into that, babyface. So, oh, wow, we lost track of time. So, yeah, that'll be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Then I got next week planned already. Next week we're covering something that's a little newer. It's a little something called let me just say this. We've been talking a lot about Fright Fest, about roller coasters, and like all those Halloween events going on at amusement parks. So that inspired me to decide that we should cover Hellfest.
Really?
Yep, the slasher from 2018.
Yeah,
I
have to look that up.
That's what we got for next week. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be it for this edition of FearFans podcast. Loved going back and discussing this movie. Oh yeah, like it's yes, the Scream franchise. I absolutely love it. But yeah, be sure to tune in next week. What?
It was a great movie.
It was. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, as we cover. And also, I should mention, Joe, in Hellfest, Tony Todd makes appearance.
Really?
Yep. So yeah, there you go.
You got me, when you're talking about amusement parks and stuff, well, you've already got me hooked.
Yeah. Well, hey, I will admit it's not the best horror film I've seen, but it is worth seeing.
Do you know how many times I've been to Great America in my lifetime?
Many. I couldn't count how many times I've been to.
Yeah. See, yeah, and you live closer.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. But we'll get into all that next week. So hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the FearFans podcast. So see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Stay safe.